Hey Kickers, AJ here. So we are back with season 2 of the MATCHAT series, and I am lucky to have our first guest for this year, which is going to be Justin Rankin. So hey guys, let Justin say hi to everyone, to the MATCHAT crew.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
So Justin, I know we have a lot to talk about. You have a very colorful career and a really interesting background. So before I kind of get straight into the interview, I usually like the guests to introduce themselves a quick bit. So Justin, can you tell us a little about yourself for those that might not know who you are?
I'm Justin Rankin. I'm a martial artist, just like AJ. I've been in martial arts for 30 plus years. And I'm a huge Power Ranger fan. I do a lot of activities. I teach Taekwondo as well. So
I swear to God, like when you have a lot to talk about, sometimes it's like it's hard to do with interest because you want to fit so much in there. It's like one of those like Twitter statuses. I don't know if you use Twitter, but yes, Justin, we're gonna get into your martial arts career in a bit. So I guess to start off first real quick, as most people can already see, that you are a not the typical martial artist, but you are a para-athlete, correct? That's the right terminology?
correct.
Yes. So what is your condition that you basically have?
I have cerebral palsy.
And for those that don't know what cerebral palsy is, can you explain that a little bit?
Sure, it's a birth defect. It attacks your muscles. So let's say your one side of your body is weak, and your speech is also affected with it.
I guess for most people that are, able-bodied, they wouldn't think that going into martial arts would be a thing that people that have a physical disability would kind of start out in. So I guess what actually drew you to getting into martial arts? Can you like do a brief overview? Yeah. What said I want to do martial arts?
Like most people out there, I watch Power Rangers. When I was 7, I was, one day at my aunt's house, I was watching Power Rangers, and they saw me do the moves. They told me, we gotta get you in the class. Well, I actually asked my aunt, my mom, and my grandparents to, take classes. And so it was hard, it was hard to find the right school. I had difficulties with the teachers, the senseis, because I took karate at first and then went into Taekwondo. But over the years, I learned how to adapt with everybody, especially with the coaches, the senseis, the teachers. We work together to make it more user-friendly for everybody.
So I know obviously the school that you're currently training at right now, that is your home, I'm guessing, right? So how long actually have you been training at your current martial arts school? And feel free to drop a plug in there for them too.
So I train at home. Where I live in Wisconsin, there's no school here. So I have to travel to Utah to, see my coach at school. So I started my old school a couple years ago.
You said you started your own school a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Wait, so officially like a physical location or online? That's actually my next question with that.
Both.
Both. That's awesome, dude. I guess for someone that lives in like the suburbs and kind of technically near the city, I guess I'm very much used to having access to a lot of martial arts school, which I do realize not a lot of people have that benefit, right? So
right.
So for you, I think I have to applaud you for your dedication to even want to travel out to a martial arts school and look for a school to get there, because there's some people that wouldn't even think of doing that, and it's can be very costly and very difficult at times, and all very frustrating too, because I don't know what the weather is like over in Wisconsin, but I would like to assume you guys have some inclement weather from time to time, and if you did have to travel back and forth during those, it's kind of like we can't go today or something of the sort. So what does your training regimen look like, since you said you primarily train at home?
Basically, I do the same thing like you do. I work on kicking, punching. What do you call it? Katas? We call it pumse. So that's a technical word for forms and kata. So I work with that. I work on my muscles, to keep training, and the way that we perform at, in the higher stage.
Do you have a favorite form that you like working on, I guess? I know everyone usually has a favorite form.
Yeah, it's called Tipek.
So that's the form you
Yeah.
actually use to compete?
So it's a black belt form. It's a 5th degree form. As this is when you become a black belt, you have to know all different forms. Like that's one of my favorites. There's tons of forms that I like, but that's one of my favorites.
Why is it your favorite form, if I may ask?
I know it shows that I could kick, I could punch. Most people with cerebral palsy, like you said, that when they go into martial arts because it's so physical, so punchy and kicking.
I was watching your interview basically about how you started a GoFundMe because you actually wanted to compete internationally, if I'm correct with this. So
Yep.
you've only been competing, I guess, nationally up until this point.
So basically, we have tournaments in the U.S.
Mhm.
that we have to pay for, and with being on that team is where that we have to have funding to go to local, state, and international. So it doesn't matter if you're, let's say, I have to go to Utah for a tournament or California. So we have to pay everything out of our pocket. And the same thing with going over to Costa Rica. They don't pay for it.
I mean, that is definitely an investment in terms of your martial arts career. And I saw that actually your GoFundMe did decently well so far. I think you've raised a little over like $9,000 at least for this over the course of how long. Actually, I couldn't find when you first started this. How long have you started the GoFundMe actually?
Well, I started in March to cover for travel costs, plane ticket, hotel, the fees to get into tournaments. It's because I live on fixed income and I don't have the kind of money to, keep doing this. The money that I raised for GoFundMe, it goes to all the tournaments, even going to Costa Rica. It's for local, it's for other state in the U.S. plus over to any other countries. GoFundMe contact me 2 days after I put it out. I have a PR person that helps me with this GoFundMe page from GoFundMe themselves.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. So you actually have direct help with someone from the GoFundMe organization. So I guess you're mentioning Costa Rica. Sorry if I'm not up to date with it, but like, is that where you're going there next month? Is that why you're also saying Costa Rica?
No, so I'm going to Reno, Nevada.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad. So you're going to Reno, Nevada, and then I guess is Costa Rica one of your like destination tournaments that you're hoping to like be able to go to?
So after Reno, I have nationals in Utah, and then there's Costa Rica after that. So to cover for all these tournaments, I increased the goal on my GoFundMe page to keep one page going for all of my tournaments.
I gotcha. So guys, if you have not already checked it out, I probably have been flashing Justin's GoFundMe and all the like the pictures and videos and stuff of him doing his thing. Like he's very much a dedicated athlete, pursuing this career and being a basically being a professional Taekwondo athlete, if you think about it, and also just still trying to preach and share his love of martial arts as well through online stuff, as well as you said with your school, which I want to get into more questions about that too. So please check out the links down below in terms of supporting his GoFundMe. Every dollar can count, even if it's just $1, even if it's like 10. If you want to be even more generous, please feel free to do so. That'd be fantastic. But Justin, that's awesome, and I'm very happy that you got the support of an awesome organization, and as well as the many people that I've seen on your GoFundMe that have already donated to you. So that's great, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing because I done a GoFundMe in the past, and I never got any help like this. For the people who are watching, if you did, thank you so much for donating. The people that want to donate, that can't, you can share it as most you can.
Most definitely. Always sharing it. If you can't physically donate, sharing content and just getting the word out there will hopefully reach out to people that will be able to help in by those means if they can. So yes, guys. What Justin said. What Justin said. Back, I guess, into your martial arts school. So you said you started that out just recently, correct?
Well, I started in